Hi, my name is Amber, and this is the Totally Should've book tag. This tag was originally created by Emma Books, and I will have that original video linked down below. Question number 1. A book that totally should have gotten a sequel. I'm going to choose 2 for this one because of the fact that there are certain books that I want sequels for and certain ones that they never got a sequel even though they were supposed to. But the first book that I want to talk about is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Any Rainbow Rowell book could get a sequel and I'd be completely happy, but I specifically would really love to get back with these characters in Fangirl, even if it was just a companion or spin-off of some sort, something to kind of continue on with Kath and Levi. I would love that, or even with Rin. The other one that I was going to choose was The Leveler. This book is very unknown, not many people know about it, but when it came out I automatically grabbed it and I really enjoyed it. It's extremely short and extremely fast and really unique, interesting concept that I enjoyed a lot. Unfortunately, no sequel was ever made. This book came out, I think it came out in 2015, and nothing's happened. There's been no information on it continuing, and I just don't see it ever continuing, so I ended up getting rid of the first book. So let's hope at this point that they never bring up a sequel. Question number 2. A book that totally should have gotten a spin-off series. I'm again going to choose 2 for these, mainly because the first one, and one that everybody goes with, is Harry Potter. Wow, you're not going to be able to see this. Why did I hold up the bright yellow one? Let's go with this one instead. Everyone wants a spin-off. Fantastic Beasts is great and I really enjoy it, and technically it's a spin-off, but I really would like to get back in with these main characters again, or even with the Marauders, especially if they were actual books and not playbooks or movies. That would be fantastic. Now outside of that, I wanted to have a different answer because everybody answers Harry Potter, but I couldn't honestly think of any of the books that I've read that I would want a spin-off or didn't already have a spin-off going on, until it came to Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I know there's a love-hate in this world for Twilight. I personally will always love Twilight, and I think it would be great to have a spin-off of this with other characters or something else. I am not talking about the Bree Tanner short. That I don't want. Why is it so bright? So I would really love if they did a different spin-off with different characters in this series. Question number 3. An author who totally should write more books. For this one I decided to choose Susan E. I absolutely love the Angel Fall series so much. It is one that I really enjoy, but Susan E. doesn't really have any other big series. I would love to have more from her because I really enjoyed her writing, and I think this world was incredibly well built and a really enjoyable story. Question number 4. A character who totally should have ended up with someone else. I don't have anybody. I have no one. I am the kind of person that tends to be perfectly fine with whoever the character ends up with, and I tend to agree with it. So I sat for a while trying to figure this out, and I have no answer for this question. Question number 5. Totally should have ended differently. I don't have a ton for these either, so this was a little bit difficult for me, but I decided to go with The Crown by Kira Cass. This is the second in the Heir duology, which is the spin-off series to the Selection series, and I really loved the first book, and I was really excited to get into The Crown. I wanted to see what happened next. I wanted to get into this, and if you've watched my top 5 disappointing reads of 2016, you know that this was one of them. I still enjoyed it. I still love being in this world with all these characters that I adore, but the ending was just so rushed and so quick, and this is such a short book that could have been so much longer, or we could have just had them mushed into one book and it might have just been different for me. Question number 6. A book that totally should have had a movie franchise. I'm choosing The Selection by Kira Cass. The Selection was one that I could easily see being a movie. Now they could ruin it if they did it. I don't necessarily want a movie franchise because I know this could be either hit or miss if they did, but I would have really enjoyed seeing a Selection series movie. Question number 7. A book that totally should have had a TV show. I'm choosing Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I don't know if there's word on this being a show or a movie at some point. I think I remember hearing something about it, but I haven't heard anything since. I would adore if this became a TV show, and I think it would do so much better as a TV show than it would as a movie, especially if they did justice to it. I just think it could be done so well and do so well, and I would love to be able to see these characters live in front of me in a TV show. Question number 8. A book that totally should have had only one point of view. I'm choosing The Gilded Cage by Vic James. I did not enjoy this book as much as I was hoping I would. It's not necessarily a bad book. I was just kind of bored throughout most of it, and it was one of those books that had a ton of different point of views, and I honestly only wanted to really read one of them, and I hate when that happens because it makes me kind of skim through most of those other chapters and only really want to focus on one point of view. While I understand why this story needed multiple POV, I think it could have been fine with one or even just 2, but that's just me. Question number 9. A book that totally should have a cover change. So I went with Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. opinions. If you watch my July wrap-up where I talk about reading this, you'll know that the reason why it took me so long to finally get to this series is because of the covers. It just threw me off of wanting to read them or even pick them up. They don't represent the story to me like it should. Well, I think it's important not to judge a book by its cover, and there are many books out there who have horrible covers that have great stories, and vice versa. A cover can really drag you towards a book and make you want to purchase it, and this was one that just kind of kept putting me off and wanting to buy it. Question number 10. A book that totally should have kept its original cover. I decided to go with Rebel of the Sands by Owen Hamilton. This was the original cover and this is now the new cover, and while I actually enjoy the new cover, I don't think it's a bad cover and I think it represents the series pretty well. It's mainly the fact that the first cover was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful and it really made the series look unique and make you want to go grab it. Before the second book was out, they already had a cover change and now you can't get them in the same cover, so I ended up personally getting rid of my first copy and will eventually hopefully pick them up in paperback. I have no idea. Question number 11. A book that totally should have stopped at book 1. I decided to choose Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. I didn't fully love the first one, but I did enjoy it, and I honestly think it could have been fine by just reading the first one alone and not picking up the second one. The second one wasn't bad, but it was really felt kind of unnecessary and kind of just drug out the story and added more characters that I didn't get a chance to really love because this is only a duology. So I think it could have easily been better with just one book. So those are all the questions in the totally should have tag. If I tag anyone, your names will be listed down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next time. Shh.